Hello, 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 hello. It's your girl Ashley, aka the Widow, and today with me is Mr. Killmonger, right?
Hello, world. Let's talk about this movie. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man and the Quantumania. I almost messed that up, didn't I?
Mm.
Yeah. So we do know. Hi, Brill. How are you? I'm just gonna give y'all a minute because I'm 10 minutes late, but I'm always late. Y'all should be used to that. Hello, Mr. Cordalis. How are you? JJ, Nikki, my girl. Yes, everybody. Thursday, random podcast is coming. Nikki and I, this shit. Did I say that messed up in my country accent? Yes, Chillmonger is here, and we are going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Quantum Realm. We all know that back, later part of 2019, earlier 2020, like it was like, are we going to get an Ant-Man 3 film? And then we heard yes, and now it actually has a title. We have a lot more information. Hosea, hello, my dude, Hosea. You are here in the mix. How are you, bro? I think I said hi to you already, but sometimes if I say hi to you twice, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
You know, so there's that. Hopefully everybody had a great. What was yesterday? I already forgot. Monday. Yes. Hope you had a great Monday. Um, Hope you had a great one. How did everybody enjoy that stream last night? I watched 10 minutes and that was about it. But hope you all had a great time, chilling, relaxing, all that. I don't have a crazy story because I've been really like behaving, right? Nothing bad. I haven't hit a fence. I haven't wrecked a car. I haven't hit a curb. I haven't done any of those things.
You haven't
So,
lived.
yeah. Well, I do these things a lot. Like I hit fences. I like do a lot. But like, I haven't done any of that in the past 2 days, guys. I've just been chilling. Hi, Landon. Hi. Welcome. This is an early time. I saw Chillmonger on Second Street Marvel one day, right? And he thought that I was Maddie, and I was like, it's Ashley, but I just thought I didn't realize it was the dude with the dude, and he's like, hi, Ashley. And I was like, oh, hi, and I
Yeah.
remember like,
I'm aware of who you are. I would see you all the time on K-Dot's channel and stuff. And I would see Landon on Second Street Marvel's channel. And I recognize like half of the names in the chat right now.
yeah. So like that's like basically like I started with Dinner Nerds, like watching Josh, and then I went to Trinity, and then from there, here we are, right? We started this 7 months ago, and now I'm so lonesome. But Nikki is here a lot with me. Nikki's my right hand, and she's here. And now, like, everything that we do is a little bit different, right? But we're going to talk to Chillmonger now and ask him about his channel. I'm going to put his link in the chat. Nikki, Latoria, Hosea, if you all could also kind of like, I think everybody, most of everybody I've got right now are my mods. So if you all hello, Tala. Once we get there's the link there. Yeah, curly hair gang. Curly hair gang. You, Nikki, all three of us curly hair. Like this is why I'm late, guys. This right here is like, is it the end of January? Because I'm ready to straighten this stuff out and be done with it for a little while. Like for real. But Chillmonger has a channel.
Right? Yeah. And we're
I'm gonna let you talk about.
Okay, she's muted herself. Yeah, man. I have a channel. I talk about Marvel mostly. Not so much DC, but I'll talk about film news and stuff like that. Star Wars, heavy Star Wars channel here. Like the latest video I just posted was straight up about, the Pablo Hidalgo, if you guys are up to speed on that. It's just me giving up my take on what Pablo Hidalgo said to the Star Wars theory. That's me, man. I just talk about Star Wars, Marvel. I talked about Soul when it came up. Whatever is in pop culture, similar to Ashley.
Yes, but so Nikki said she subbed. Great.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Latoria.
Not subbed to Chillmonger's channel. Do that. Like I said, Nikki is so supportive always. So thank you, Nikki. And so he talks about Marvel, you know, like I'm doing it again. I got the hat on again today, right? Because I'm a Marvel lover and I'm apparently a DC hater. So there it is, guys. But not really, guys. Not really. You know, I'm not. Thank you, Latoria. Thanks. Thank you guys so much. So, like I said, Ant-Man and Quantumania. Like, why can I not say that? Like, what is happening? So, Ant-Man 3 is the Quantumanium, right? I still can't say it. Still not able to say it, right? We
Yeah.
know that.
Remember when Birds of Prey was called like the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey? They had
Yes.
to change that. We might have to rethink changing this one too.
For me, I'm just gonna say Quantum
Ant-Man.
Realm, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Or Ant-Man 3, because we know, like, you know, I can say Quantum Realm because, like, when people get stuck, like, apparently, like, why were we late? Chillmonger could hear my voice. My camera was on, just a black screen. So I was stuck in the Quantum Realm. You know, I like to say that. Like, when we don't see people, they're stuck. Yeah, he is. He is Landon.
And the official title of the movie is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Yes. Quantumania. Yes, it is. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to pull up an article here and we're going to kind of go over that and hash that. And then we're going to give our thoughts and our opinions. Because I know a lot of people, like for me, Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man film, I enjoyed it. Okay. The second one, not so much. I'm just like being very frank. I just didn't connect with it. And a lot of the things that I had issues with are, you know, Angela, you know, is what's her name again?
Evangeline Lilly.
Evangeline Lilly. I feel like she was like they kind of put her in that like school marm type of, like, she's always like, I know in the first film, I feel like she was angry. She was angry in the second film, and I feel like we don't get enough range with her character. I feel like she's always angry. But that's my main issue with her. I didn't really care for Ghost either. But, you know, and guys, write that down because I'm talking shit about a Marvel movie. Remember that, okay?
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I see the non-character development of what happened with Wasp, but she also got the best fighting scenes. Remember when she was shooting at that salt shaker and that dude Usman just hit his face over it? Remember when she was inside the car, came out of the back seat, turned into a wasp, kicked the guy, and they did.
Yeah, she did.
And you know who directed that? Peyton Reed, the same guy who just did the last.
But he also did the second episode of Mandalorian, and I didn't care for that. Didn't care for it. I'm gonna say I don't like Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's strong. I don't like Thor: The Dark World. Okay, but do I like Ant-Man and the Wasp? It's okay. It's mediocre. Okay, it just lands right there at that C- kind of line for me. Is where it lands. But the first one, you know, I understand that with Ant-Man, it's like I see Marvel, like they're trying to do like these different genres with different films. Like Black Widow is going to be more of like a spy espionage thing, and Ant-Man franchise are the family ones, right? So, and it makes sense. And like, of course, I'm going to watch all of them because they're all connected to a bigger universe, which makes me excited, and I enjoy that, right? But you know, how did you feel about Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I loved both of the films. I love everything that came out of Marvel. So when I was like, it's sort of mediocre, I just mean by Marvel standards, it's in the mid tier of the Marvel films, but it's still a great time at the theaters. I saw it at the theaters like more than 5 times because I don't know, I was on a Marvel high that summer, and they had the unenviable task to follow Infinity War, and you're just not gonna like. When we watched Far From Home, we were like, yeah, this is good and it's fun, but you know, after Endgame, we were talking about the end credit scene more than we were talking about the actual movie.
I know. I see, for me, what made Far From Home great for me was the fact that it was CGI within the CGI, like, because, you know, we had this group of people who were, you know, making these things happen, and then it was just, that to me was just really cool. I thought all of that was tight. I like Tom Holland. I know a lot of people in the chat, they don't like him. They call him Baby Iron Man. They call him, you know, they don't like him. But for me, I felt like in the second Spider-Man, maybe we get a little. He's gonna be more adult. I don't know. See, here I go off on a tangent. It's not about Spider-Man.
Look,
Guys.
if we only get 2 out of 2 movies and he's baby Iron Man, then fine, we can be upset. But I think we're gonna get multiple films coming out of Peter Parker. And
it was a 6. It was supposed to be a 6. A 6 film arc here. We were supposed to get 6 films. I don't know if that's still the plan. We know that they have a new deal going on with Sony, and we know that the Spider-Woman films come in. Spider-Woman's coming, which also, why am I doing it, guys? I'm talking about other shit. Here I go. Like, I will do it, because it's like, but we know that, like, this is happening. Spider-Woman's happening. We know the Secret Invasion is happening, which also, Spider-Woman, Squirrel Princess, that'll be tight. I believe that, that's, but that's another day, another topic. I'm going to pull up this article and I'm going to stop talking about everything else that's not involved with Ant-Man. Okay?
We're all about the insects here on The Widow.
Yes, because I like to entrap people into my web, don't we? But we're not debating today, or we're not going over specific things. But yes, that's what we do here, I am, so excited to talk about this, actually, because I feel like with a lot of the things that I believe that we're going to get in this film, I think that people might possibly be like, oh, this is going to be great, because we're going to get Kang the Conqueror, right? That's happening, and that'll be great to see, like I said, here we go. This is the article about Cassie Lang. Actually, we'll go over that here. I'm just like falling apart, guys. This is why I don't ever need to queue anything up. Okay, ever. Nikki, where are you when I need you right now? Right? Because I will push the wrong thing. I'm sorry, Jill Logger. This is like, you understand, I'm a little goofy sometimes. Okay, a little bit, just a little bit. But here we go. Got it. They know how I am sometimes. Sorry. But we got this article. We're going to go over it. And we're going to look at this one. And then we'll go over, the Cassie Lang recasting, which I know some people are like, why did they have to recast her? Maybe it was a scheduling issue with her, or maybe they just weren't pleased with her enough. And then they went a different direction and she's going to have a bigger part. And they just wanted to go with another actress, possibly, right? So here is the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Okay, we know it's a family film, and it was revealed during the Walt Disney Company, the 2020 Investor Day that we all, enjoyed over on Tyler's channel, and he got like 55,000 views that day, which was tight, and a bunch of his subscribers. Presentation by Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios and chief creative officer of Marvel. Catherine Newton joins the cast. Catherine Newton, who she was just recently in Freaky. She is going to be the new Cassie Lang, and we're probably going to, meet Structure here, which is going to lead us into Young Avengers. How do you feel about a Young Avengers film? Do you?
I don't think they shouldn't call it Young Avengers. They should call it Champions. But as soon as you put some sort of like prefix before the Avengers word, you're basically telling me they're the baby version. They're the lesser than. So it shouldn't use the name Young Avengers. If you're asking me about the name, but if you're asking me about the freaking characters and stuff, yeah, naturally that's what comes next.
Okay. But I mean, are you cool? Like, for me, I feel like I feel it should either be a series or a Disney Plus film. Like, I don't really want to, I don't know. I just don't really want to go to the theater to see Young Avengers. Like, I'm not really stoked about it.
Same here. I mean, I'll be stoked because it's a Marvel film, but like that extra oomph, not really.
Did I say structure? JJ, did I say structure? I mean stature.
I got you.
I'm sorry.
And I think she changed her name recently where they call her Stinger now.
Yeah, but I don't know where we're going to get, are we going to get her as Stinger, or are we going to get her as, Stature?
Yeah, because when they introduced Carol Danvers, they never called her Ms. Marvel. They went straight to the Captain Marvel. So I think they'll just go straight to whatever nicknames they're using now. So for Monica Rambeau, it'll be straight to Spectrum. No, there's going to be no Photon.
Oh, I see. I want Photon. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
but we never know. We might get like, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I feel like the way I feel like she might be Stature, but she might be Stinger. Like I said, I don't know. I would prefer her to be Stature. That's just me. Maybe because I'm a little sentimental here. I don't know. I would prefer that. Just me. I just like that character. I like her as but I don't really know enough about Stinger because like I haven't read like when I right now. What's the newest comic book that I read? Black Winter. Most of the stuff I read is I'm rereading stuff. But I enjoyed that. Did you read that comic book? Did you like that?
That's the Thor book. I read it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was really great. That was like the most recent one that I've read out. Yeah, the most recent one I read was that one. It was tight. And I'm probably going to read it again at some point very soon. Everybody should read that if you
Yeah.
haven't.
I don't read much of Ant-Man and the Wasp,
I don't
but
either.
I'll check it out. If they got like a movie and a comic coming out at the same time, which they probably
Mhm.
will be doing,
Yeah.
I'll check out that comic.
Yeah, no, see, I haven't read Ant-Man since I was probably 17.
Mm.
Yeah. And
That
I'm
wasn't too
old.
long ago.
Oh, that was nice, right, guys? We all know that ain't the fact. But yeah, it was just 5 years ago. It was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, right? That's what we'll say. But anyway, getting back to the lecture at hand. But yes, so Stature, right? Thank you, JJ, for correcting me in my moment of, not being able to speak correctly. So then we know that we also know that again, this time around it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. Hopefully this time around, maybe she'll be a little lighter, but as a character, like I said, my issues with her in the last movie was I feel like she's always just so intense and angry, and it's just like there's no other emotion that we really get from her as a character. Where is the character development? Why are we still stuck in that same spot that you were in the first film? I understand you're eager to get your mother, and you did have one or two few emotional beats, but I feel like it's always you're always angry, right? And we also know that Jonathan Majors will be portraying Kang the Conqueror, right?
Yeah.
Um, and like when we're talking about, I know a lot of people are talking about Joseph Gordon-Levitt right now. Is he going to be Reed Richards? Because we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I don't think, in my mind, that he's going to be Reed Richards. Possibly, maybe he will be. But to me, I feel like he might be doing something else. I don't know. I don't feel like because we know that Jonathan Majors. I mean, he could still be a descendant of Reed Richards, but I think we might possibly get a race bended Reed Richards or something. I don't know because we know that Kang the Conqueror is actually, a descendant of Reed Richards and stuff. And I know that they're talking about a lot of race bending characters, and this might be one of those characters. How would you feel about Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing Reed Richards, just in general?
Okay, good actor, but like my mind is fixed on John Krasinski. But yeah, if I
Yeah.
get Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I'll take it. I actually thought he was like blackballed from Hollywood because he did that Snowden movie and all the studios dislike him. You know, the Netflix movie?
They a lot. I've heard that. I've heard a lot of people that he's can be difficult, but I feel like where he might be having some of these issues, like when it comes to film, I know that a lot of people, want someone else for Moon Knight, but I can see that more. I feel like I can see them casting him more as Moon Knight than
You
Reed
know they
Richards.
casted for Moon Knight. They got
Did they?
Oscar Isaac.
Was it official? Official?
Yeah. Because in the stream that you're talking about that you watched on Tyler's channel, they actually did use Oscar Isaac's name.
Did they use his name? I don't even remember that. Dang. See, I messed up really bad there. I could see I knew that it was happening, but I didn't know if it was officially happened. You know what I mean? Because I
I'm
don't remember
Googling
that
Oscar
stuff.
Isaac
Yeah.
right now just to
Yeah.
make sure.
So yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's in it, like the last thing I saw was it was a rumor. But a lot of times when they're the rumors, it ends up being true. But I just don't feel. I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is Reed Richards. I feel like I don't think I'm gonna like that. That's just me.
I gotta judge it when I see it. He's the talented actor and he could do it. With these Marvel films, usually it's the story. Like, how often has
Yeah.
the acting performance actually blown us away in Marvel? There's Killmonger and there's Tony Stark.
I mean, I've been impressed with. I'll tell you. Even though he didn't have a lot to work with, um, Jeremy Renner is a great actor, and I saw, and even Scarlett Johansson. I feel like in other films that they didn't have those emotional moments because like because the type of characters that they were, like they just kind of like, you know how they treated Hawkeye in the first Avengers, and
Yeah.
then the second one they did give him the family, and that was sweet and things like that. But I felt like in Endgame he had more to work with. And yes, Loki is great. Scarlett is, yeah, she's great.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Black Widow is going to be great.
I
Guys.
gotta
It's gonna be a
retract that
great movie.
statement. Scarlett Johansson's gonna come out for Black Widow. I'm looking forward to that for her acting performance. Definitely when it's finally her own movie, and we'll see what she can do. You think she's alive in that movie? Like she'll be alive?
What do I think in that movie? I feel like just from the things that I've seen, either A, she is alive in the sense that as she was falling, somehow she, activated her thing, and before she hit the ground, and she's going back and fixing issues. Possibly. B, that wasn't her. And that's what I'm leaning more towards, just because of the things she said in Endgame. I never had this, I never had that. And we know that they've done a face swap, which if they do that, okay, we're going to
So
go
you
there.
think if that wasn't her, then they fooled the Soul Stone? I can't believe that.
I mean, I can see that it's either a clone or it's Yelena Belova.
See, my theory is a little bit different. It's Captain America goes back and into the quantum realm, and he's supposed to put back the stones everywhere they're supposed to go. The rules are a soul for a soul. So when he goes there, first of all, he's going to be like, Red Skull? And then he's going to be like, listen here's the Soul Stone. And he's going to be like, okay, sure, here's Black Widow. She's going to be back now. I think that's how it works. And then he's going to give her...
No, you can't do that either.
Why can't you do that?
It's an everlasting exchange. It's not supposed to be taken back.
Oh, do they say that? It's an everlasting exchange?
Yeah. So, like, if they do that, I mean, like, I feel like there's going to be a plot hole somewhere, right? Either it's a trick or something like that, or it's a clone, and she has all of Scarlett's memories, and she has all these other things, but she's not necessarily Natasha. That's how I feel like the Soul Stone could be tricked. But I can see them doing the Yelena Belova thing just because the things have happened in the comics. We see her laying on the table. We see the dots around her face. So yeah. I'm just telling you, we see that around her face. Why does she have an outline around her face if we're not face swapping? Why is she wearing Yelena Belova's vest? Why is your hair blonde? There are so many different things that lead me to believe it. And that's why I believe that, just from things that I have seen from the movie, from Infinity War, from Endgame, from all of that,
Right.
So that's why I feel that, that it.
But once you open up the multiverse, everything is possible. That's true too. I just don't want to go there to the multiverse and be like, hey, new hero from that universe, new hero from this universe. What are you doing in that universe? You don't need that. Come back here. We got a new Iron Man. I don't want that to happen in the Black Widow thing. I just remember there's a key line where she's on Vormir the first time, and Red Skull reads off the name of Hawkeye's dad, and then reads off the name of Black Widow's dad, daughter of Ivan. And she goes, I don't even know who my dad is. Okay, cool. You don't know your family. In the Black Widow trailer, she's with her family. Whether Red Guardian is her dad or brother or uncle or anything, I think she used the knowledge she got from Vormir, and Black Widow happens after, what's it called? Endgame. She's doing the thing where she leaves the stream and then she has to come back because the internet can be difficult sometimes. So I'll just talk over it. But we were talking about Antman and the Wasp, Quantumania, and the new casting. I think her name is Catherine Newton. I remember her from the movie Cockblockers, and she was in Detective Pikachu. They got rid of the woman named Emma Furman, might have been her name, and she was in Avengers Endgame. She was only there for a quick little moment. Dad, Cassie, she puts her hand over Scott Lang's, and he's looking at her, and we get like a moment with her, but nothing too crazy. I think she returns again at the end of the film. No, she doesn't. At the funeral, she's not even there. It's just Hank, Janet, Wasp, and Antman, right? So the thing is, with me, when it comes to casting, and I know Ashley's going to ask me, I don't think it was a good idea to recast Catherine Newton. I don't think it's smart to be inconsistent with what we're doing. Okay, we did the Terrence Howard thing with when he was War Machine. We got rid of him, and we had, what's his name? You know the guy, Cheadle. Don Cheadle's your new War Machine. Okay, so we recast in the MCU. Understood. We got a new Hulk. Understood. But then came the same Thunderbolt Ross. And then came the same actor we used for I think.
Sorry, my stuff totally.
Go ahead, speak. Well, turn your microphone on first.
Yeah, great. Yeah. No, I am. I was muted. I had an interference. I'm like, everything's falling apart, guys. That's what's happening, right? Sorry. Yeah. So
Hello,
yeah,
Perp.
it dropped. Hi, Perp. Shout out to Perp. Shout out to Perp. I'm going to move myself. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry.
Craziness.
Where was I? I was talking about the recasting of freaking Cassie and everything, right? I understand why they got rid of the kid, because there's supposed to be a 5-year time gap between Infinity War, the whole snap situation, fine. But when you get rid of Emma Furman, who was the actress in Endgame, and you put on Catherine Newton, who's like older, what are we doing here? It doesn't make sense to me. Now, we recasted Chadwick Boseman, that's where T'Challa. We didn't recast T'Challa. We were saying it's going to be disrespectful to the character. And they had like a strong emotional attachment to it. I'm not going to crap on that. I think they're leading with their hearts, which is always something that we want them to be doing, like have some sort of responsibility. So can't really insult the decision to not use the character anymore. It's just something I wouldn't have done. But in the same press conference, in the same little announcement, you're talking about how you're recasting Stinger, Cassie Lang. So like, where's you see the inconsistency there? It doesn't work with me. It doesn't jive with me that we can have, okay, it's disrespectful to Chadwick Boseman. We got to honor him. He's our only king. And then we get a brand new location.
Yeah. Yes, I'm in the room now because
craziness.
Yeah, so I'm just like, yeah, thanks. I'm sorry that all these crazy things are happening. But so you think it's your endpoint. I think it's with him it's a little different. They're trying to honor someone who, played this role, who was, they didn't know, also was sick and had cancer, and they're just trying to honor it in the sense we're not going to recast it out of respect to honor Chadwick, right? But that's their thinking, right? But does it make sense for us now, moving forward, for Shuri? Maybe we're going to see some. I mean, she was snapped for 5 years. So now how much time is going to pass when her film comes? I'm just saying comic book Shuri is different than the Shuri that we had in the MCU. Like, I feel like she is not ready to be the Black Panther, but maybe he's going to die. And by the end of the film, she's going to be able to step into the role and be a little bit more adult. Like, she's just, I feel like right now, if there's no growth in her character, it's just going to be just like Tom Holland is, as but it's the Black Panther. I just feel like if there's no growth in there, I don't think it's going to work. What do you think about being the Black Panther? See, we're just going everywhere right now. What do you think about Shuri being the Black Panther?
I think they were probably going there for like the third film, and they had that set up, and they were going to build on it. Unforeseen circumstances, which, since we're talking about respect, I don't mean this in an offensive way, but Chadwick Boseman didn't let these guys know that he couldn't, do the role. They just kind of found out. Now, I don't mean this in an offensive way at all, but I mean, like, there is a sort of like a responsibility on your part to let your boss know, hey, such and such and such and such, just in case things go sour. I am going through something called cancer, and I don't know, just to prepare them, I guess, because they do these 5 years of planning, and he kind of, I know it sounds disrespectful, but he kind of ruined their plans. It does sound disrespectful, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and like, but it ruined a lot of our plans, right? Because like those moments with they're uncomfortable with him and Doctor Strange, I wanted to see that. You know what I mean? Him and Namor, I wanted to see. We're not going to get that.
There's a chance, and I'll get back to Antman in a second.
Sad.
But there's a chance that they might just do like a CGI suit of Black Panther in the film without ever like the mask coming off and without seeing T'Challa. But like the beginning of the new movie can be like he's off on a mission and he's going to space because he wants to find the origin of the vibranium meteor, because if he can get that, we can make Wakanda even better because we're running out of vibranium or something like that. And then that's the first like couple minutes of the film, and the rest is just what's happening in Wakanda.
I agree with that point. I also think he did it because it would hinder him with other roles outside of Black Panther. I think he did it for that. And I think he is just also one of those people. I mean, I've known people who had cancer and they didn't tell anybody. It's just like, sometimes it's that personal fight. Think either you're in denial and you think maybe you'll get past it, or he knew and just wanted to continue to work and didn't want people to have pity on him. A lot of times these are the three issues. You don't want people to worry. It's work related, and you also so it could have been any of those things, or just like dealing with things on your own with your family. I mean, he probably at some point, I feel like maybe they, once he was losing weight, they might have said what's going, he's maybe sick, but they might not have known what was going on. So I feel like a lot of those, when we started hearing early, before he passed away, that Shuri might be stepping into the role, I think that might have been what led us to that point. They didn't necessarily know what was going on, but maybe they knew that, he was losing weight rapidly and that they didn't think that he might not be able to step in and to do it. So they said, you know what, we might have to go with Shuri moving forward, because a lot that because of pay and all these other things, which were not actually the case, right? We know that now, obviously. Killmonger, it could work. But I mean, like Killmonger coming back and being the Black Panther, but we also it would have to be a big redemption story, right? Because of all the things that he did in the first film. So I feel like I don't know. Does that make sense to you?
Like he's the only one with the heart-shaped herb since they all got burned.
Yeah. And I feel like that, and then I also said that when it comes to the herb, that I feel like Shuri is like probably over here studying the dirt, and she's going to make a synthetic. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be a synthetic or something. There's going to be some type of synthetic herb, or maybe moving forward, you don't have the herb as a Black Panther. But I don't see how Shuri, with her fighting pew pew pew, is going to get that done. Said powers, right? So we're gonna go. So, did you have we'll go back. We'll try to go back to. All right, I'm trying, because this is what happens. Did you say that you wanted to add in back on to Ant-Man? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Add to the Black Panther part here?
No, I'm good. Let's get back to Ant-Man. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let's try to keep this under an hour.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Like 11 more minutes, guys. So yeah, we know that Paul Rudd, is coming back. He's Ant-Man. We know that Cassie Lang has been recast, and we know that Jason Majors is going to be Kang the Conqueror, right? So that lets us know that we're going to have a whole lot of. We're still going to be dealing with time travel. We know the time variance is coming in Loki. So are we going to get some time variance here, like Kang is traveling through time, somehow the time variance maybe comes in, and are they going to be in, because we know that if you're traveling through time and you're changing things or making branch timelines, right? Because that's how it's set up in the MCU.
Yeah.
Are we gonna, or making branch timelines? You're gonna get arrested, right? And we're gonna see. Hopefully, I don't know if we're gonna see that battle with Kang the Conqueror. We also know that Kang the Conqueror, like I said before, has a tie with Thor, right? And I'm curious. My point is, instead of the negative zone in that little city back there, is that where the Fantastic Four are?
Yeah, that's the
Have they
theory.
been stuck there since the 60s? Yeah, like it's like that's the basic theory. Like they've got to be there. I mean, it makes sense because of Kang. It makes sense because we talk about time getting powers when you're there for long periods of time. Like so I feel like that's probably gonna happen. We're going to meet them in this film, and I don't know if. And they're basically going to be the team, not the man out of time, right? They're going to be from the 60s and they're going to be in modern day, more than likely. And then maybe their film will actually be an origin film and will start in the 60s. Then maybe it'll get into present day.
I'm open to it. I just want my
The
Fantastic
Four and Ant-Man. Yeah, right?
And we might not
like who? Okay.
Just see. Sorry, I know there's a lag. I don't want to talk over you. I thought I had an opening, but we might not just see him. We might see the Yellow Jacket guy who we thought died in the first Ant-Man movie. I just watched the first Ant-Man because I knew it was coming with you. So in the battle, Ant-Man shrinks between the molecules and kind of F's up with Yellow Jacket's gear. His arm shrinks, Yellow Jacket's. His second arm shrinks, and then everything shrinks. And I believe he went into the quantum realm. If they want to use him in Quantumania as like the B villain for like the second act of the film, once they visit the quantum realm and they're in that city and they're like, oh look, the Yellow Jacket guy's still here. He probably won't have his arms, but you can heal in the quantum realm. What are you can explain that? It's a comic book movie.
Yeah. But I don't look like out. And because at that point he would have been in the quantum realm for quite some time. Scott was only in there. He doesn't have powers. He got stuck in a time vortex, and he doesn't have any. But we know Janet Van Dyne, she has powers. He could possibly have powers, and we know that the Fantastic Four could possibly have powers. How do you, other than like them going into the quantum realm and pulling them out, how else do you see them fitting into Ant-Man 3?
Yeah. That's the only way I can see them fitting into the Ant-Man 3 movie. I don't know who the main villain is going to be. Do you?
Kang the Conqueror is the main villain, I believe. He's the villain. Like I said, let me pull up the image here of him.
I don't think he's going to be the main villain. I think he should be a supporting character, the same way he's going to be in the Loki. The Loki thing. I think he should just go from movie to movie to movie, and then we'll have his big, he's the main villain.
You think so? You think that we're just going to get I feel like he might be the main villain, but he's not going to be captured. He's going to continue on. He's going to escape. Possibly. I mean, who else do we think?
We're thinking inside the box. We got to think outside the box. The quantum realm will be the main villain. There'll be like a timer that they've got to beat to get out and escape in time, and they'll save the FF. It's the quantum realm. That's the
Yeah, but I'm just saying, okay, I mean, Murdoch maybe, but I don't think I said Murdoch. I said Modoc. I cannot talk today. Modoc. Like, he might come in somehow, but I don't know. I just feel like that they're going to just kind of like, this time around, they know they choose with villains, right? So I feel like he might be the main villain of the film. They're going to build him up. They're going to give him enough backstory, enough motivation, and he's not going to just end in this film. He will continue on.
So he wins. Okay.
Yeah.
What if he kills Hank?
He wins or escapes. Kenny kills Janet instead.
So what if he gets What if though? Well, like these actors are really up in their age. We saw what happened with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
It's risky when you have actors who are that old, and Sam Jackson's getting up there too. We might just see some of our favorite old people just die off.
Yeah, that's true. And Doom and Galactus should be the new big priority threats. I think so too. I feel like Doctor Doom is, especially where they're talking about like kind of having like one main Earth villain, one more main galactic, a space villain. So we might get Doctor Doom on Earth. We might get Galactus in space and have two, big things going on, because we got Endgame, and they might be saying, this time we're going to split this up and we're going to show you over here, and we'll give you Doom too. I feel like, I know that we're going to get hints and Easter eggs of things from Doctor Doom in WandaVision, and me, just to do it. So I feel like Doctor Doom is coming sooner than Galactus.
Would you take Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Doctor Doom?
I could see it, but I don't know. I would take it. I mean, if he's Reed Richards, I'd probably could get around that and be and get on board with it, because he's not a bad actor. I just don't want to see it. Yeah, we are definitely we're leading up to what's going to happen. But right now, the Earth is, we're going to get the Secret Invasion show, and then that's going to lead into Captain Marvel, and then that's going to be like a little mini event thing that's going to happen with the Skrulls. And I already told you how I feel about Talos. Well, that he's somehow probably, I feel like he might actually, he started out as good, he might flip into a bad Skrull, and all these other things might happen with him.
Just checked Bryan
How do you
Cranston's
feel about
age. 64 years old. So yeah, he's not too old on that spectrum. If he can put the dots on his face,
Doom.
I'll take it. Well, wait, Doom.
Okay. Well, he is.
Yeah, Doom has a mask.
Doom has that. So he can be Doctor Doom. Yeah. I feel like, and I can't remember, like, what's his name? Don't remember anybody's name, but Bryan Cranston would be good. But the best would be Gus Fring. I'm sorry, the guy. He would be the best. The best. I feel like he's a great villain, and we need to see him. I always call him Gus Fring. The guy, who's just I can't remember. I know it's Esposito. I can't remember his first name. Like, I'm bad with people's names, like really bad, unless I like Google it and then I have their name in front of me, like Catherine Newton. She's Cassie Lang. I know her name because I Googled it, guys, because I didn't know it. Like, if it's not like certain people, I'm not going to remember your name. Michael Fassbender, that would be amazing. I love Michael Fassbender. But I don't know if he's a great for Doctor Doom, but yeah, Michael Fassbender in the MCU. I know, Tyrion, but I still call him Gus Fring. Like, I can't move past the Breaking Bad. Like, it's still Gus Fring for me. Like, because like Breaking Bad is, is like everything, for me when it comes to TV shows. So that's why I still call him Gus Fring. Okay. But does anybody have any questions? Because we just have a few more minutes. I'm sorry, I had so many freaking issues today.
I want to add something. Sure. That Peyton Reed said in the commentary for Antman and the Wasp, but he didn't want Giant Man to appear in Civil War. He was saving that for his sequel, which is smart. He's building, adding on to things. And Civil War, as cool as that moment was, which it was cool, and it contributed to how awesome Civil War was, it hurt Ant-Man and the Wasp sequel. What does he have planned for the new film? Because I don't think there was an Ant-Man scene in Endgame that ruined what could be coming next.
Let's see here. Like, I feel like obviously delving in more into the quantum realm, that's obviously going to happen. Let's see what else can happen that involves Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I know he's got the Pym particles. I know that Ant-Man can talk to ants.
I feel like he's going to worry, like, like now where, well, they made a new timeline, so never mind. I wonder like where his particles were missing originally. That just makes a new timeline, so never mind. I keep forgetting about these points. Like everything is a separate, is a branch reality, right? But I was going to say something. Keep forgetting. I just wish they did not do that. All these branch realities, but I guess maybe that delves in farther, because I was going to say that maybe that is what breeds his distrust even more. Like feeling like that's maybe what's they stole his pin particles, and maybe he's even more now angry and aggressive this time around. But like you made up a good point. Maybe Hank Pym's gonna die, or maybe Janet. I mean, I feel like Janet might more likely be her, just because the MCU a lot of times they go with the least developed character moving forward, right?
Yeah.
And then they bring people back. But when you talk about the moment in Civil War, I want to go back to that, because we kind of talked about yesterday scene in Wonder Woman, which I won't say because I know you said you hadn't seen it, and she's doing this thing, right? And she talks about how she wasn't able to do it, just like Scott does. I was able to do it once, and that was, and then the fact that he just magically can do it, right, and perfects it for such a long period of time, to me was sloppy. So I would have preferred to wait to see it in Ant-Man 2, just because, like, to me, I felt like you added that in there because you wanted this epic thing, but to me it was sloppy because the character didn't have enough time to develop that. You say, oh, I did it once, and then you can magically do this thing, and you can hold it, and you can fight, and you can hold it for quite a bit of time, when before you said you couldn't hold it, right? You can only hold it for 5 minutes, but now you got it magically in this moment. You got it. So I feel like if we saw it in Ant-Man 2 and we saw that development and we saw, it would have made more sense. To me, it was silly in Civil War.
And Civil War didn't need that in that movie.
No, it didn't. It didn't. They just wanted, an epic fight. That's what they wanted. Dan Stevens. Who is Dan Stevens? He did change the regulator at the end of Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, he went from like miniature to normal size.
But I'm just saying, but he's talking about the one time it worked. Sathwick. He says it. Sathwick. Like I mean, like I'm down for my MCU shit. But like, dude, like if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, right? Like Sathwick, he said it. But then we wouldn't have had the Empire Strikes Back reference. Hosea, maybe we could have got it some other way. I don't know. Maybe we could have got another Star Wars reference.
What's going to happen when Peter Parker watches the prequel trilogy? Because you got Sam Jackson and Natalie Portman, who are going to be Thor and Age.
Yeah, he might be a little confused. He'd be like, Nick, do you need to tell me something, Nick? Did you see an actor? Natalie Portman, how do you feel about Thor, Love and Thunder, and her coming back? That'll be my last question before we wrap
I'm happy that she's coming back, but I'm going to withhold judgment on how they handle it until I see the movie. I don't even know where that hammer is going to come from. The last we saw of Mjolnir, was Hela destroyed it. Yeah, we got one from another reality, but then Captain America took it back in the final scene of Endgame. So there is no Mjolnir in the MCU.
Yes, and then are we going to find it on the moon? Because that's what happens in the comic book, or are we going to, or is like where Loki's traveling through different, through time?
Oh,
does he get one and pull it? Because I think, does he have it in the in that scene when he's going I don't think he does. I got to go back and look at that because Nikki and I are going to break down the Loki stuff when it gets closer. But we will probably break down the trailer soon because we haven't done it yet. But I can't remember in that moment because I've only seen the trailer 5 times, so I have to go back and look at it.
You see how important Loki turns out to be? It's gonna have a Kang connection. It could possibly lead into the Thor movie. What else did we bring up Loki for? Black Widow and stuff, and timelines
and time, the branch realities. I believe Loki's gonna start before the Multiverse of Madness. So even that, I feel like Loki and WandaVision are going to be very important because they are important, and then we're going to see them. We're going to see them again in the films too. I feel like the groundwork that they're laying is it's just basically groundwork. It's like we're laying that foundation, right? And then once the end of the series stops, the season one, apparently, Doctor Strange is going to show up in the season finale of WandaVision. Hopefully, we're going to see that moment, and then moving forward, we're going to see Loki and see how maybe the things that he's doing and he's causing branch realities because maybe he's going through time and he's changing these things around. And that's how he gets in the custody of the time variants. And then the one little bitty thing I remember from Loki, just because we get the image of Mephisto and we know that Loki is kind of more of a crime thriller, right? So who's doing this manipulation? Who's doing these things? Is it we might hear about Mephisto in WandaVision, but we might not see who Mephisto is until Loki. And what if Owen Wilson is really Mephisto? That is just a thought. I have crazy thoughts sometimes.
No,
that might be
I love it.
Amazing. I'm telling you guys, all this stuff is going to just it's just gonna blow. I'm telling you. But you know what? I will say before I leave. Same energy, right? Will happen. This is for them in the chat. That's it. If it's trash, it's trash. But I don't believe that. I feel like people, when they're looking at WandaVision, they're getting so hung up on the sitcom element. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their main gripe. Oh, it's a sitcom, blah 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 blah. It is, but it isn't, right? Like we're gonna go back to Sokovia. We're gonna see like how she, gets her powers, and we're gonna see Quicksilver. We're gonna see so many things that, and Adam Warlock is coming. Adam Warlock is coming in, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We're not gonna get him until then, because we got that teaser in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He's definitely coming in the third film, so we do know that for sure. Perp.
What does JJ mean when he says Earth 47473? Is there a significance to that? I know MCU was Earth 199999. Please and thank you. But with what you're saying, the continuity of what they're doing over there at Marvel is what separates them from DC, and why we'll never. Okay, they actually do have problems. I'm not going to praise them to the heavens.
Yeah,
but it's kind of why I'll take Spider-Man as Iron Boy. We had to do it, he wasn't going to do the Uncle Ben story over again, and we had another mentor in Iron Man. We have it for the sake of continuity and things flowing into each other. And if Loki is that integral, and WandaVision too, then shit. And what you said about WandaVision, remember Marvel does trailer trickery. You never know what is in that trailer that's not actually going to be in the show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. When people are, I know like a lot of you all are not, people are so hung up on the sitcom elements, and I'm saying, we do know that the thing we know is she's projecting these things, right? But what we don't know, we know she's not controlling them because we got that information from the trailer, from Agent Woo. It's not of her own design. So who is manipulating Wanda and manipulating her power set to do these things? We know Agnes is probably involved, but is it Nightmare or is it Mephisto? I lean more on Mephisto just because we've gotten an Easter egg for him at this point.
Yeah.
But because I know that we had a change in director, and he wanted to go with Nightmare, and so all of these things might. That's why I'm just saying I feel like it leans more to Mephisto. Both of them can manipulate Wanda, but Mephisto, her children are pieces of Mephisto. So it just, guys, I'm telling you.
Her children are going to be members of the new young team of the Avengers with Cassie Lang.
Iron Hearts.
Keep her away from the young Avengers. I want the young Avengers to just die. She's going to have her Iron Heart series, her Armor War series, and we'll see where that goes. But I don't want her to mix and mingle with the young Avengers. But yeah, she probably will.
The young Avengers will be great on Disney Plus. Okay.
I feel like if you have the word Avengers in a title, that is a $2 billion word that you shouldn't be using on series.
I don't know about young. Maybe I just don't feel. I feel like people are gonna look at and be like, "Oh, this is," you know. I don't know. Maybe, but I just with Young Avengers in front of it, I'm just like I've read Young Avengers stuff, but like, do I really want to go to the movie theater to see that?
I hear you. I don't want to see really Eternals based off everything I know about them. They don't seem like, but we'll see. It's Marvel.
Yeah.
They're 23
Yeah.
out of 23 when it comes to me.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, anything else you want to add before we jump on out of here?
Good to go.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm Ashley, aka the Widow. And January, yes, Coop. I just want to say it. January is almost here. January 15th. Yeah, it's gonna happen with WandaVision, and Nikki and I will be back not this Thursday, because this Thursday is the random stream, and we're gonna be talking shit and saying bad words and naughty words. But next Thursday, our breakdown series and part 2, WandaVision, when we talk about Civil War, we're gonna break all that down. We're going to discuss it, and we're also going to go over the latest trailer because it has a lot of the Sokovia stuff, and I want to go over that and look at that because we'll go over that too. So, like I said, I'm Ashley, aka the Widow. This is Chillmonger. Thank you for being here, and I'm sorry I had so many fracking issues, today. And you know what, guys? You know what I'm about to say? We're out. Bye.